Like you mentioned, if they have desire to do that, okay, do they also have the government support? Like I know, like in my country in particular, there is no government support for young entrepreneurs, for young businesses, or a few businesses that came and set up in my country. So they have been forced to close and move away because of high tax, bribery, all sorts of things.
Yeah, let me give an example of this Kantakati. He started from Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, KK and UST. He assembled a little airplane, but because it served no purpose for the country, the government is not coming. But when he started manufacturing the cars, making smaller cars for these farmers to use in their farms and all that, the government found out, oh, now people are benefiting from this cars, and the government came in to support. So when you build a business and the business benefits the citizens, the government will now come in to support you. But when it doesn't benefit, the government found out that we cannot throw cash away. Do something to benefit the citizens and I will support you.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. And in terms of corruption, bribery, it's everywhere in Africa.
Already.
Like my country is even the worst. Like the corruption in my country, you won't even start up anything.
As you mentioned, Ghana is the largest producer of gold. Ghana has bauxite. Ghana has timber, right? Ghana, they discovered lithium. Ghana has everything to be a first world country. But what is happening? Due to corruption. Yeah, so corruption basically is around ruling, is what is really ruining Africa. Yeah, so the type of leaders we've got is what is really making us, making us lack a lot of things.
There's one thing that always baffles me when it comes to issue about Africa, right? We are good at sorting out the cause of our problems. We are good at debating the problems. Yeah. We are good at getting, not even getting, but like sending forth proposals on how to solve these problems. Yeah. But we are very poor at getting these proposals into action. I don't understand what is really the problem.
The problem is the mindset. The problem is the mindset, and most of the time, when this African, they get to the top, it doesn't reach the people at the down. It stays at the top, just with the people around. So in Africa, you can see someone who is 70 years old, 80 years, still working.
Like recently, in the House of Senate, some of them were sleeping in during session. I was like, what is going on? Can't you just go and rest? That's a problem. And like in Cameroon in particular, right, we are really good at this kind of stuff. Like we will debate on these issues. We will have a clear roadmap on how we can get this problem solved. But then get the problem solved will be the main problem, because everything will be abandoned from there. We talk about corruption, how we can have separation of powers to limit one person's power and to help to limit corruption. But then nothing is being done at that level. See, it looks like this is a general case in Africa.
Yeah, you see, it's a general case with the exception of Rwanda. Just recently how their president, Paul, have done a lot of things. When you really think about the people down there, the citizens have the right to make a country rich when you give them the chance. You're the president, you cannot do it alone. So when you stay up there and you don't think about the people down, when a citizen also gets the chance, get the opportunity, you also keep the opportunity. Do not open their hands for other people to get the opportunity. So our main problem is our leaders. Our main problem is our leaders. We have corrupt leaders, which is a very big problem for Africa as a whole.
Let's take Ghana like a case study, right? From your opinion, do you think that the leaders in Ghana put the interests of the citizens, the Ghanaians, ahead of their own interests, or is the other way around? Like the leaders will just put their own interests ahead of everybody?
So as I said earlier on, Ghana has a lot of minerals. So what is happening to the country?
Exactly.
There are still people unemployed. We are still the third world country. We have to go out and borrow money for IMF and all that. So what is really happening? That means still the leaders are putting their interest in their families first, forgetting about the people down there. That is why it always remains like that, because when you are able to establish the citizens properly, the countries go very fast. But now, this is a situation where the leader think I spent maybe 1 billion for campaign to get to power. So when I get to power, I have to get that 1 billion back with interest. So when the person gets on power, the people who help that person to get to that power are the people who benefit a lot. So in Ghana, we stay on power for 8 years. For 4 years, there will be a vote. Then when you win, they have to get another vote for another 4 years. So it's 8 years term. And within that 8 years, when a person spent 1 billion on the campaign, that means the person has to use that 8 years to recover all
The money he spent.
Yes, all the money spent.
Wow. That's a lot of looting from state coffers.
Yeah, so it will be just looting. The problem remains the same. It doesn't change. So when you are not a smart person to do something for yourself, basically you will just be staying there unemployed.
Wow, that's really serious. Within your lifespan, let's say from when you were born till now, how many presidents has come and go?
We have Rawlings,
Yeah.
Four, we have Atamils, then we have Mahama, and so 5.
5. So amongst these 5, you know, right? Which of them, in your opinion, has really tried his best to better up the lives of the local Ghanaians?
I will go for Rawlings. Yeah, although I was young by then, there are some measures he put in place that was very strict measures which really helped the country. He was a person of, integrity, who was principled. He was more of a socialist, which Africans, that's what we need. So when Rawlings says something, everyone does it.
Yeah.
Because they are scared. And he moves in himself. He doesn't send any delegates to do anything for him. He does it himself, which I really like. He was a man of action. So he was able to put a whole lot of measures in place. Still, Ghanaians are enjoying that until now.
Oh, that's great.
You just mentioned, though. Yeah, current one who want to build a cathedral when there are not even ambulances to carry people.
And I was like, what for?
Yeah, what for a cathedral? For what? And it was because of this campaign thing.
A campaign thing.
The pastors and all those people campaigned for him to become the president. And now we have to do something for them to extort money from the citizens. But what is the cathedral for when people are unemployed?
So what happened to his cathedral?
Yeah, he's still on it.
He's building it?
He's still on it. He's building it, and the people are really against it, so it's going to be difficult for him. And this is an election year. This is an election year.
Yeah?
Yeah, so he's going to stop. Now, the notion is I'll stop and listen to the citizens. After they vote for me, I'll build my thing.
So, but where is he going to get the money from to build it?
From the coffee, they even borrowed money for that cathedral. Yeah, this is the problem. They even borrowed money for that cathedral, which is very, very sad. Which is I personally have not voted before, never in my life. But for this present state of things, it's really appalling.
The economy of Ghana at the moment, right? Since we are talking about emergence Africa, and like my president mentioned a couple of years ago, that will emerge by 2035, and I was like, what? So, but unlike Ghana, right? Because from what I gather from the news, Ghana has been growing. The economy has been growing. It might not be the speed that we want, but at least something is being done to help the economy grow. So, from your own point of view, how long do you think it might take for Ghana to become an emerging economy?
Good. Rollins mentioned something, Vision 2020, and this is 2020. Yeah, Rollins was on power for almost 21 years. And he mentioned Vision 2020. So the vision was Ghana will be a first-class country in 2020. And this is 2020. We are building a cathedral. Right?
But at least you guys will have to go to church and pray.
Yeah. So these politicians always lie to us. But I think maybe now we've started assembling cars. Maybe when we put more technical education in there, let's look at maybe 10 years or something, maybe.
Before we go, just one last thing I would like to share with our audience out there. And since you will be one of our co-hosts for the show, so what kind of program, what kind of content do you think that we can bring onto the show?
Yeah, we are going to talk more about other African countries, what they are facing, and some life experiences from other guests. Because when the viewers listen to such things, they can get some experience and add it to their life, and they can know what is going on in other countries.
Oh, that's nice, that's nice. And so what do you hope the viewers will benefit after watching?
Yeah, after watching, they're going to know a lot of different cultures, the political nature of other countries, and what they can add up to their personal experience in life.
Oh, that's really nice. Okay, we have come to the end of today's show. We hope you find our show educative and informative. And please leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comment sections on how we can make this show best serve you. We are hoping to hear from you. And also, if you enjoy watching our show, it's advisable for you to subscribe and also hit the notification button so that you will be notified whenever we post a new video. Thank you very much for watching our show, and see you again next time.